So Taylor, as some of you probably know, doesn't think that Ashley Babbitt is dead, okay? He thinks she's still alive. So he used to hang out at Freedom Corner. I guess he was only doing that to, like, investigate or something. I don't know. Anyway, when he started talking about his feelings about Ashley Babbitt not being dead, Mickey and the gang, like, flipped out. There was a bunch of fucking drama. I'm not even going to get into that. If you don't know, that's, like, a whole nother day story. So Taylor, like, as you can see with this whole Brian Jackson and the Nazi thing and all of that, like, if you don't go with the narrative in the gulag, they'll beat the shit out of you, okay? So that's what was happening to Taylor, like, since the day he got there, I think, literally. And he's been in there a few months now. I can't even, like, smoke this. It's too windy and cold. And so, I already knew that they had put him in, like, special housing, but it's just so much worse, okay? I really felt bad for Taylor. I really did, because, like, they literally want to kill him. They literally want to kill him and have tried to, okay? And Van Guy's gonna be like, it's all your fault, he's in jail. It's definitely not my fault, but anywho. God, so many pages. So apparently he, because of the danger there with the Patriot Pod, not only was he put in special housing, which is like, he was in solitary, but also special housing is like, there's other people that are all in there. So there's a few of them. I guess a couple of them were also problematic J6ers while he was in there. So he got moved to Philly, which I missed that one apparently. So he was in Philadelphia for a little while. And they didn't specifically name anyone, but it was J6ers. Who's in Philly? All the Proud Boys. He has been attacked many times. Apparently they recently pulled a shank on him. I got that in the notes. Let me go in order. So before I know he's been shanked and everything, his attorney, with him being, like in special housing and all of that, he doesn't have a tablet, like he doesn't have access to a phone. So not only is he not talking to his family, his attorney isn't able to get a hold of him. So she was at the jail last night from like 7 till 10 p.m. and you can't have like your devices there or whatever. So while she was at the jail that late at night, the government sent in 2 superseding charges, I guess I'm not an attorney, okay? So just go with me. So Taylor had gone behind Obama's house and he had guns in his van. So he has some firearm charges, and also when they arrested him that same day, they had unsealed his warrant for J6. So then he has J6 crimes, okay? So gun charges and J6 charges, okay? One of those J6 charges is the 1512. The 1512, hopefully most of you know what's going on, but it's like this very confusing thing. It's like the obstruction charge, I believe. Anywho, the Supreme Court is going to hear this Fisher guy's case about it, and like everybody seems to think like if this 1512 gets thrown out, that like everybody's going to go free, okay? That's not the case because they do have other charges. But anyway, Taylor has a 1512 charge. So Taylor also, his trial is supposed to begin on the 22nd. So while the attorney was visiting him last night from 7 till 10 p.m., and it was the first time first time in a bit she's been able to talk to him because she can't have access to him when he's like in this special housing and all, like having all of these fucking issues. So while she was there, they sent her over these new charges, and she had just spent the night there discussing what was going to happen, and then she leaves and comes out and finds out there's 2 new charges, okay? So his trial is supposed to begin on the 22nd, which is only a few days from now. So she was like, I don't have time. You don't have time to argue this, like, we need to work on this, right? So the new charges are possession of an unregistered firearm and unlawful possession of ammo. So the Scorpion that he had, apparently it was required to be federally registered. So it has some large capacity firing device on it, I guess. So it must be considered some type of semi-automatic weapon, I guess. Anyway, those are the 2 new charges. So the attorney was the attorney's really great, actually. I've sat through a few chud, cases the last few weeks and stuff, and a lot of them are really incompetent. They're really chud lawyers. They're really stupid, but she's not. And she actually genuinely seems concerned for him, so I'll give her that. So like I said, he's been being attacked by J6ers. So the gulag that they call is the CFT building. So there's the jail. It's not a prison. Stop saying DC prison, guys. It's a jail. It's DC jail. So the DC jail, where pretty much everyone that gets arrested goes, is one place. And then the CFT is where Patriot Pod is, the gulag, the J6ers. They're the only fucking ones in there. They have like a dorm of patriots, okay? And every judge after judge talks about how they're getting radicalized being in there together. So keep that in mind. So Taylor was even moved from the gulag, the CFT, to the other building at the jail. And apparently there's others of them that also had to be moved or something, so he was attacked there by them. He has no tablet, he has no phone. The last time, I guess, before he was moved to Philly, they had come to court and the judge had said that he was going to Lewisburg. Everyone was under the impression he was going to Lewisburg, but then he ended up in Philly, okay? So while in Philly, not only was he punched and assaulted and all of this, but someone threatened to rape his wife and children. They flooded his cell with feces and urine. These were J6ers who did this, okay? These were not other criminals in the jail. These were J6ers. Flooded his cell with shit and piss and threatened to rape his wife and his children, okay? Where's the fucking general? Anyway, so Taylor has some mental health and PTSD issues. When he was moved to Philly, he was put in Gen Pop, and his attorney said he sticks out like a sore thumb there. I'm not exactly sure what that is. So he had been punched in the face, assaulted a few times. The third incident there was someone tried to shank him. So they moved him from Philly back to DC. So he's been in DC for 2 weeks now. And he's been like in the solitary confinement or whatever. So he doesn't get to leave. He like doesn't have access to a phone. He doesn't have a tablet, all of that. So the judge was under the impression that he was going to Lewisburg, and the judge kept saying over and over that he was very concerned about this, and that regardless, nobody deserved to go through that or be put in an unsafe situation. Okay? You like my notebook? So what the judge wants, first of all, the attorney wanted to move the trial, right, because she needs more time to prepare. But this status conference had been originally because of like the whole safety issues and moving him around. She didn't even know about the new charges until last night. So the judge had thought he was going to Lewisburg, was not happy to find out that he wasn't. But what he needs is proof that this is happening, And it's happened at several different facilities, and the attorney is saying that Philly has been problematic in getting her that information. She's tried, and then they're saying she has to FOIA it, and like do all this run around, and they're censoring everything. And the judge like doesn't discredit any of that, but he says he isn't like aware of that. He hasn't been notified. And then the government said they weren't aware of it either. So the judge, although concerned, wants her to file a motion of discovery to show all these attacks and his safety stuff. Okay, and so now, again, they wanted to delay his trial because of the new charges, but also because he has the 1512 thing, which is going to be heard very soon. And this judge seems to think it will be by June 28th. Apparently that's a Friday. It's also my birthday, so they might decide it then. And then that changes things. People have to like come back to court and stuff and fix shit because it's like not a crime, except it might not even change, or it might even get worse for them. Who knows? Anywho, so they were all like, well, we should just push it until after the Supreme Court thing so we can do it all at once. So they scheduled his trial for July 8th. And they want to separate the charges. Like I said, he has the gun charges, and then he has the J6 charges. And his attorney wants to separate them. The judge doesn't seem to think the government will let that happen. But regardless, Taylor more than likely wants a jury trial and wants two separate juries, two separate trials for those separate cases. And let's see. So he has 14 count indictment right now. He could always get more superseding charges. He seems to not be going to take the plea, and the plea expires in like 24 hours anyway. And so as far as his safety and moving him around, so he's at DC right now, but they want to move him to Butner. And that's the second time I heard that. I heard that in another person's sentencing today. So I don't know if that'll happen. The judge can only recommend it. But yeah, those fucking psychos are crazy in there. Like, they're literally fucking trying to murder everyone that doesn't say exactly what they want them to say. We're gonna walk and talk because it's getting even colder and windier. I put my notebook away. Why did I do that? Okay, so I'm just gonna briefly talk about the next subject. I can do that from memory. So anyway, they did that. So Taylor has until, his lawyer has until like the 5th of January to get like this discovery together, for his pretrial, because, they were also requesting, if they can't get him in some type of facility, to allow him home during pretrial, go back home to Washington. I'm just trying not to forget anything. I think I got it all. So anyway,